Good morning, Prop Nation. It is another Drew Estate Tabak and Tech Tip Sunday this week, powered by Dunkin'. If you haven't had the new chocolate caramel cold brew, this is the most amazing drink Dunkin' has ever produced. I'm addicted, physically, mentally, emotionally addicted to this drink. This week's Tabak and Tech Tip Sunday, let's talk about old car syndrome. We've had a rash of vehicles this week. Not a rash, I would say three. That's a rash. Three. One car yesterday. This was probably like a, 10, 12-year-old Hyundai Sonata, 150-ish thousand miles. Customer complains of a noise in the front end. So that's my expertise. That's where I shine. So take it for a test drive, come back, customer waiting there for me. What'd you think? I'll tell them, let me get it in the bay. Let me get it up in the air. Let me take a look. And, it was there. And I'm like, it's an old car. It's an old car. It's got old car syndrome. It's just tired. But we'll put it up in the air. We'll take a look at it. So, which I did. Put it up in the air. Take a look. Nothing was bent, broken, or leaking, which was good. Could I determine the source of the noise? No, I could not. It's just an old car. There are things inside of a vehicle without having what's called chassis ears. And there are these electronic devices that you can put on the chassis, and then it will help you determine where the noise is coming from. Very long process. It can take hours, and nobody, on a newer car, yes. And if you got a weird noise, that shouldn't be there, spend a couple $100 and you can have the source of that noise traced down. On an older car, it could be forever. And then even when you dial in the section of the car that the noise is coming from, sometimes you still can't find it. So, after my inspection, told me there's nothing I can recommend because A, there's nothing bent, broken, or leaking. B and C. Customer wasn't too thrilled. Well, it's really annoying. I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing broken. You've got subframe. You got body bushing. You got fenders, everything after 150,000 miles, everything after like 90,000 miles on a lot of cars nowadays, they just get wore out. That's all there is to it. Things just wear out. And this component could be making a tiny noise. This component can be making a tiny noise. And 50 other components can be making a very tiny noise, all adding up to some loud noises. My suggestion, deal with it. It's all there is to it. On the flip side of that, we've had some customers, and one was an older car. Struts are making noise. Pinpoint that sound. That was an easy one to diagnose. And on this one, another older car, and I explained to the customer, you've got a car, and it was over 100,000. I can't remember on that one. What it was. You're about to find out what happens. That was so good. You're about to find out what happens when you put brand new parts on an old car. Things happen. You put brand new loaded struts, springs, everything's nice and tight again. You're probably going to have some noises. It's not going to ride like you expect it to ride. It's going to be a stiffer ride. You're used to cruising around and the car just kind of floating down the road. That's not how it was designed to drive, by the way. So warned them, it's going to ride different. You might get some noises. Put them on. A day or so later, day and a half or whatever it was, customer comes back. I think something's wrong. I'm like, no, it's not wrong. Took him for a drive. I drove the vehicle. I'm like, this is how the vehicle operates. It's a stiffer suspension. You're not supposed to float down the road. You're supposed to be a little bit of a stiffer suspension on that one. I can't remember what that one was. Hyundai or Honda, one of the two. But he kind of wasn't happy, but I reminded him that I forewarned him what was going to happen on an older vehicle when you start replacing components. Should those components have been replaced? Yes. Weak shocks, weak struts, those, they may end up causing, a noise, or, everything is cause and effect. You replace one thing, especially on an older car, there's this domino effect of things that it can affect. And then we've mentioned it before, it always comes back to ever since you touched it, it's doing this. Well, we replaced a broken component. I had that Toyota Camry, and that guy wasn't real happy, and had a noise. Did I forget to tell the end of that other story? I think I did. And customer, I explained to him, this is the way it is. Oh, shocks and struts. That's a safety issue. When you're braking, your brakes are designed to be stopped. So when your car coming to a stop, it's not dipping, throwing the mass of the vehicle forward, causing your brakes to be less than efficient. So actually having new shocks and struts make your brakes not more efficient as they were designed to be. Well, going back to this Camry, same thing, noise. Couldn't find the noise anywhere. It was a weird noise. So I gave the customer a list because it was a vehicle inspection. He had 3 bald tires and 1 semi-okay tire. Had torn windshield wiper blades. The motor mount, which is notorious on a Camry, was broken. It was the bushing was completely severed. And what was else? There was something else. I can't remember what we ended up recommending. And customer said, "Is this going to fix my problem?" Maybe, because I can't find your problem. But I go, maybe not. I go, but these are broken components. This motor mount is broken clean. Your wiper blades, that has nothing to do with your noise. They're torn. We live in Florida. It rains. You're probably going to want to get those replaced. Your tires, they're bald. You have 3 of them that are bald. I mean, they're smooth. 1/32 worth of tread. You need to get those replaced. So, sorry, runny nose this morning. So, get everything replaced that's broken, safety, aligned it, riding nice and smooth. You don't have to worry about, sliding in the rain or not being able to see from his wipers. And he comes back irritated. The noise is still there. So we dig into it even further. We've got it up in the air. We got, one guy inside turning the wheel. We got 2 guys underneath. And then we finally found it. And after, I don't know, probably an hour. And it was a power steering rack bushing that was bad. No way. I mean, you couldn't see it. And the only way we found it was when we would randomly hear this noise, people would start putting their hands all over the front of the car. And one of my techs touched the power steering rack when it made the noise, and there was the click. Bam, we found it. Unfortunately, the bushing's non-replaceable. You got to replace the entire rack. He was kind of upset. I'm like, listen, we didn't guess. We didn't throw parts. The parts that you replaced on your car were safety items, broken components. So, old car syndrome. If you got it, live with it. Replace the safety stuff. But old cars make noise. You replace them with new parts. Sometimes they're going to make a different noise, worse noise. Maybe the noise goes away. I don't know. All right, everybody, this has been another Drew Estate Tabak and Tech Tip Sunday. This week powered by Dunkin' Donuts chocolate caramel cold brew. See you next week.